Is the Bible true? Two questions. Why should any educated person care? What do you mean by true? Of course, people whose identities are bound up with particular views about the Bible will care as a matter of self-care. As for true, well, all but the most narrow are willing to concede that the Bible has truth, moral truth, sometimes symbolic truth, selectively read, and that it had demonstrable influence on literary, political, and psychological motifs in the West. How much Bible are we talking about? The Christian scripture with Hebrew scripture folded in as prelude? Hebrew scripture standing alone? Behind those sticky questions lies a long, tangled, and bloody history. What did the Jews make of it? In the centuries after the Jews produced it, the rabbis held that one author, Moses, wrote the first 5 books, the Pentateuch or Torah, with his own hand. In the 19th century, the German scholar Julius Wellhausen found 4 different sources for the Pentateuch. The documentary hypothesis, as it is called, doesn't settle the question, are these different editorial strands carrying true reports? It would seem that they can't all be entirely true, since they contain inconsistent accounts of the same events. Usually, if a report contains inconsistencies, we question the reporter's trustworthiness. The final editors were so sure that these materials were divinely revealed that they declined to rule on what words were and were not holy. So they included them all and let the chips fall where they fell. So far as I am concerned, if the thoughts and the songs and the prophecies all refer to occurrences that didn't happen, then they're about rather big misunderstandings, to put it politely. What's it to me if the Hebrew Bible is true or not? As to Jewish identity, whether or not you think the Bible tales or anything like them actually happened, you can get just as killed by the Jew haters. They don't ask you what you think. The deepest question for us is why we should act or refuse to act. In case what we do includes a reference to a divine actor, what he would have us do or not do, the Hebrew Bible offers a tower of evidence of what it is like to keep God in view as co-actor in the world of action. Is it empirical evidence? In Numbers 11, God's people complained that they're sick and tired of the same old manna and would really like some meat. And the Lord, quote, swept up quail from the sea and left them all over the camp, unquote. Translator Robert Alter informs us that flocks of migratory quail from the sea do cross over the Sinai, where, exhausted from their flight, they are easy to trap. At the present time, researchers have empirical evidence that some of the stories certainly could have happened. The Quail story is what I call a Jewish miracle, where the divine touch is in the significant timing, not in the suspension of any law of nature. The Israel Defense Force and the British Army before them conducted certain campaigns on the model of battle plans recorded in the book of Judges. You can't get more empirical than that. The Bible's stories are true in that they are true to life. Things happen that way. Even stories that sound fantastic may have significance for action. I don't believe that there is a fish so big that it can swallow a man like Jonah whole, leaving him undigested for 3 days before spewing him out unimpaired and ready to prophesy. But I don't doubt that one could sense a divine imperative to care for one's mortal enemies, in Jonah's case, the Ninevites, enough to try to put them too into a rectified relation with the divine author in whose script we are all still players.